All right, welcome everybody back to the Tribeman podcast. This is episode 5, and just so you know, as we always say every episode, you find us on YouTube and Spotify now. I guess this week I got to tell a quick funny story how I met this individual. I opened up a treatment center with a buddy in 2019 in Jensen Beach, Florida, and I had another buddy who I worked at a different rehab with, who now worked at a detox in like the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. And now I'm down in Jensen Beach with my rehab, brand new, and so I'm hailing this kid for referrals and refer me some clients, but he's an Italian guy, so you know how they are. They got to get something out of it. So I brokered a deal. Now, my one Italian friend growing up, Lou Sarcone, his family owns the oldest bread bakery in the city of Philadelphia, and phenomenal bakery. And on Christmas Eve, there's a line 4 blocks down the street to get into this bakery. And the kid I was asking for referrals from, his family went every year and waited 4 hours in line to get this bread. So I said, well, would you send me a referral if I got you you could jump the line at Sarcone's? He's like, no way, you can't do that, da-da-da-da. So I ring my buddy. He says, yeah, sure, I'll do it. So hook Dave and Lou up. Dave gets to jump the line. I get sent a referral, and that referral was my guest this week. And out of that deal, I think I made out. So with that, I'm going to introduce my guest this week. It's Pete. No, not that one, this one. I blow that every time. All right, so Pete, my first question is, what's your name, your full name?
My full name is Peter Anton Nestor.
Okay, where'd the name come from?
So it comes from 2 different people.
All right.
My maternal grandfather's name was Ludwig Peter Urban.
Woo!
So I got the Peter. Sometimes I tell my mom, like, I wish they named me Ludwig, because, like, Lud.
Yeah, you look like a Ludwig.
I do. It's like a good linebacker name.
Or frat boy name?
Never frat.
I know,
Never
I'm just saying, if you were, you'd be a favorite.
But, and then Anton comes from my paternal side. My other grandfather's name was Anton Nestor. Anton. It used to be like Nestorov or something like that way back when, but he went by Tony. So
what's the ethnicity from? Like, where are they both from?
Mother side is Slovenian and father side is Ukrainian.
Wow, man.
Little like mutt mixed in here and there, little Irish here, little like English there, but
that makes sense
for the most part, yeah.
Because you prefer cold weather area, you prefer cold weather areas over hot weather areas.
I do.
So it makes sense for where you're at, where people are from. Second question: What's your occupation, and tell us a day in the life of it?
So I am an admissions director at Tribe Intensive. So day in the life is, it's all depending on the day. If there's like an intake coming in, we just knock out the intake, get them prepared, get them knowledgeable about our program. Lately, just been trying to like catch up new staff members up on their occupation, just try to like get them to fit into the tribe the way we do stuff. We do it a little different here at Tribe, but it works. It's a very good, and there's a lot of success stories from it. A lot of case management. I'm kind of like a jack of all trades for Tribe.
I was gonna say that your title really doesn't.
I don't. Yeah, what you do. I just like you slapped the title on me.
Well, I mean, you are director of admissions. All missions come through you.
Yeah, I just do a little bit of everything.
I would say czar of Tribe. You know what I mean?
I just keep it. I'm the behind the scenes guy. That's why I just like keep my face out of the picture.
Yeah, you're the Wizard of Oz before the curtain got drawn back. You know what I mean? Yeah, but we're not a facade. We're the real deal.
We're the real deal.
Place of birth. Tell us about it.
Level Green, Pennsylvania.
All right. So how I describe this to every guest is, if an alien came down from outer space and you were the person to represent Level Green, Pennsylvania, tell them about it.
I would be not the best representation of Level Green because I don't fit the mold of like that area. It's very like white suburban, but it's like one of the greatest places to grow up in. I mean, I want to retire there, live my days out there. I know like my parents want to be buried in the backyard of their house next to all the animals. So do I. So it's just a very nice place. Everyone gets along. It's like one of those places where like you don't lock the doors. Everyone's neighborly. You have like neighborhood parties. Everyone's very friendly. Everyone thinks about others. So it's just it's a great place to grow up in.
I've yet to meet a bad person from that area.
It's not. It's hard to find.
You've been saying that, and like me being who I am, I've been looking for bad people from that area. I've been unsuccessful. All good people from that area.
And like to not talk bad about myself, but I'm probably like the biggest like scumbag from that area. So like imagine me, like people are just incredible there.
Well,
They're amazing.
But what's that say about my area? Because you're one of the best people that I know.
I mean, exactly. There you go.
And I will share this with you. I mean, your dad's very smart. I've met his dad, Kev. Shout out.
Highly intellectual.
He probably already knows this, but if he is buried in his backyard, it's a tax write-off.
Cemetery.
Forever. Because like Graceland, that's where Elvis is buried, his house. The business went out of business, but the bank couldn't take the house from the family because he's buried in the backyard. So Yeah. If I mean, and where would you really want to be buried at? I'd rather have my dad or mom out in the backyard anyway, under the tree. I'd take care of them. Then you'll have to drive so
You don't
far
have
to
to
decorate the
travel, yeah.
grave. You know what I mean? Everyone can
It
stop.
makes it convenient to go visit them.
Yeah. Have a cup of coffee. Hey, what's up? You know what I mean? Next question. Since you're from, I mean, Level Green, what big suburban area is it by? Like,
So
what
it's
city?
Pittsburgh. It's
Pittsburgh
it's
area.
about 30 minutes southeast of Pittsburgh.
So you grew up a Pittsburgh fan, all sports.
All sports.
Pirates, Steelers, Penguins.
That's it.
Yeah.
We only got 3.
I mean, you guys said like white suburban area, probably not big basketball fans anyway. So you said we don't need
Yeah,
that.
we just never really had basketball in our area.
But you did heavily overcompensate for the no basketball in football, though.
Football.
Which leads me to the next question. Always wanted the Steelers logo on the side of their helmet. It's only on one side. It's got 3 diamonds. It looks like different color. What are the 3 shapes?
So the 3 diamonds, like right off the rip, the 3 diamonds, it is the elements that make up steel. So it has red is iron, yellow is coal, and blue is like scrap steel. And then you mix all that up together and makes steel. Steelers.
That makes sense.
And then also another little fun fact that go along with that.
Oh, cherry on top.
I know. So Pittsburgh's the only sports teams that each major one, so like hockey, basketball, hockey, football, and baseball, same colors, black and gold. No other city has that.
I never. I mean, I know it, but like you never think of. I never
Yeah,
put it
but
together.
that's why just like Pittsburgh just such like a championship city, even though like the Pirates are like not the greatest
Yeah, but
these
I mean,
past
but
years, but still, it's just
they have the best uniforms in baseball.
they
I
do
think.
easily.
Yeah.
I love them.
Well, now I got a pickup line for when I'm in Pittsburgh on a girl.
There you
Hey,
go.
did you know?
Did you go?
Well, speaking about Western Pennsylvania football, you played Western Pennsylvania football, high school football, and I'll brag for you. Pete is a member of his high school football's Hall of Fame, right?
2011 class. Yep.
2011 class. He used to live with me. He's one of my ex roommates. I still get mail to my house from him. I just got a letter from the Hall of Fame, so I can confirm that. Tell me about Western PA football.
I mean, I want to say it puts like everything else to shame.
Even
Like,
even Texas?
Texas, the Friday Night Lights. I mean, it's Western PA football. I mean, there's a little high school out there called Aliquippa, who goes to states every single year. But it dominates Pennsylvania. So Western Pennsylvania has a tournament called the Whippeal, and the Whippeal, like the winner of the Whippeal, goes to states. Okay. So all other like conferences, they kind of have to win their conference and go straight to states. But Whippeal is like a very tough tournament to win out. And the final game's at Heinz Field. Well, Askerian Stadium, but
it's always Heinz.
Always Heinz.
Yeah, and then we got Heinz. Why is it 57?
57.
Heinz 57.
Ingredients.
57 ingredients Heinz. And while we're on the topic of Western, a lot of NFL stars, not just playing for the studs, come out of.
Studs.
So who's the best player to ever come out of Western PA? I got my.
So this is always like going to be an argument about whoever's. But mine,
yours. As someone who lived there,
I'm going to say Terrell Pryor.
Okay.
TP was a freak, and I got to see him live.
Well, Dan Marino.
I mean, yeah, but like you got to look at if you're coming out of West Pennsylvania, what did Dan Marino do? I mean, yeah, he played football and basketball.
46 touchdowns in his rookie year.
Terrell Pryor was like a 5-star athlete in basketball and football.
He went to Ohio State.
If I would have put them both up together, I think TP would have won that.
Wow.
Athleticism.
Bold statement. All right.
and one more thing. So Dan Marino kind of had like everything like sought out for him. So he went to Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Terrell Pryor went to Jeanette, which is like
Jeanette. Yeah, I knew that.
It's like a tiny little hood next to where I'm from. It's like the next town over. So very, very tiny.
That's why you're impartial to. He had
to struggle a little bit.
Yeah. All right. And then, after high school, you went into the Marine Corps.
Yes.
How did you? Why did you go? How did you get into it? Tell me about it.
I mean, I've always been. I mean, you know me.
Yeah.
I've always been a very like patriotic, country first, duty, all that kind of stuff. So, as soon as I was able to, I signed up, and I left like 3 or 4 days after I graduated high school. I went to boot camp. Yep. So it was just always something in my mind that I wanted to do. At first, I was originally signed up for the Army. I was going to try to do like an ROTC route, go to college, all that. But then, looking back, I don't know what changed, but I just went to the Marine Corps.
I mean, you do everything balls in. If you're
I just do it, yeah. So my buddy with his name's Anthony Peduzzi. Shout out Anthony.
Shout out Anthony Peduzzi.
He's a cop back home. Savage. But
come down to Florida, hang out with us, dude.
He's a beast. Great Italian.
Yeah.
Great Italian.
All right, all right.
But so yeah, we went into boot camp and then just kind of went through, and it's not the best because like that's kind of like when my issues started happening when I was in the Marine Corps.
We had a badass job in the Marine Corps. You drove.
I drove trucks.
Yeah.
I drove trucks up. So I was a 3531 Motor T operator. And we were like 25th Marine, so we were attached to like 4th Marine Division down in New Orleans.
Oh, that's a cool place. That's a cool place to be.
So yeah, it was our big, like the big reserve unit.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome. I mean, that's why I wore my shirt today because I'm interviewing a Marine. So, okay. So my next question is: after you got back from the Marine Corps, you did your 4 years, correct?
Yeah.
And then you came home. You became an iron worker.
Yeah. So like to bridge that little thing. So like I got in a little trouble in the Marines. Not trouble. I just started being like kind of a shit bag, for better words. I was pretty heavy into my addiction then. Yeah. So
straight booze hound. That's it.
Straight booze.
No
hound.
drugs. Pete actually got Narcan once. Never did heroin or any opiate in his life. Got Narcan for being so drunk. The cop thought he was
by another friend of mine who's a cop up there, Tristan Taffy. Shout out
Tristan for Narcan.
For Narcan and me for being drunk.
Like, so we got, because iron working is almost as scary as being in the Marines for me. Like, looking at what you did, walking on them big.
Yeah, it's exhilarating. It's scary as shit. I mean, I was.
How high? Like the highest you ever been up?
Maybe like 14, 15 stories.
Jesus, dude. I can't go on roller coasters.
It's just something you get used to, I guess, because I wasn't like the best at heights when I first started. Like I'd be walking the beams, it'd be shaky legs and all that. But after a while, you get kind of used to it. And I wasn't on anything too dangerous. Like I was on always like a detail gang or a deck gang. So like kind of going behind like the main group, like putting the iron up, and I'd be putting bolts in, putting the deck on so the concrete can get poured. But when I came to Florida, I joined a union.
Miami, right?
Yeah, I mean I had some jobs in Miami, so I was doing iron working down here.
So what's the difference between the two?
I mean, Pittsburgh's Union Local 3 is the best in the nation, easily. But, I mean, down here, it's just kind of scabby. Very, very, very scabby.
And hot, too.
It's hot. Yeah. But, I mean, you figure out ways to get around that. Like, up in Pittsburgh, it's, like, two difference. To sit on the iron, you got to, like, get, like, bicycle padded pants in the winter so you don't get hemorrhoids. And then down here, you just got to get a water bottle and just spray the iron down so it's too hot. So it's just difference of, like, temperature.
Jesus, dude. I mean, that's why those guys make America, man.
Yeah.
So you see them in line buying lunch, buy their lunch.
Well, what's crazy is, like, so in Florida, I became a connector, which is actually putting the piece together, and I was the only like white dude on my crew. It was all like Latinos, and it was like the best crew I ever worked with in my life. Yeah, they were awesome, and they're still doing it. They're still crushing it out. There was a dad and two sons, and then me. They were awesome.
Well, so you high school football Hall of Famer, Marine, iron worker, but you also have another side that I know about that not many people are introduced is you're a fowl egg farmer. You own a bunch of different fowl. Tell me about it. How'd you get into it?
I'm a big fowl person. So I always liked fowl just because, like growing up, that's what my dad did. We went hunting for pheasant. I mean, I actually had like a pheasant tattoo and a pheasant feather tattooed on me, just like a little memory of me and my dad. Uh-huh. But I just always got into like the whole like self-reliance type thing and start with the chickens with the eggs, and then I got quails. So like the next step is to get pheasants and just keep going more and more. So
quails are little, but they're cute. They're awesome.
Tiny. They're tiny. They only live like a year and a half, but
they're good. They're good for you. They're good for the top of a sandwich.
They're good. Yes, they're also good. Like their meat's very good. So after their egg producing days are done, just call them and then you got the meat.
Call me for that. I want to try that.
Yeah, I will.
For sure.
Very good.
For sure. Minimalist lifestyle. What's it like? Why'd you choose that way of life?
I don't think it's so much something I chose. It like fell upon me. I just don't find the need for a lot of things. So if I need to get up and go within 24 hours, I can. I mean, that's not the sole reason, but I just don't need a lot of things to be able to survive in life, to like meet my amenities, what I need. So it comes down like a needs and a wants thing.
It's a lot. I think with you knowing your family, it's nature versus nurture too. Like your family, your dad's very successful. You know what I mean, and they live that way too. Not that they live a very humble lifestyle.
Very frugal.
He builds everything in his backyard. I mean, what was the wood thing he made? Pergola.
The veranda.
The veranda.
That thing is sweet.
Yeah,
it's still standing.
I've seen pictures. It's pretty impressive. That's two Kev shout outs on the podcast already. So I have a quote here. It's not about the journey or the destination. It's the company. So say you have a car, right? You're the driver. You got a passenger, and you got passenger seat and two in the back. Who's your company in your car?
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive.
So I've been on a like ancient history kick lately. So I think my shotgun, I'd want to have Alexander the Great.
Alexander the Great, okay.
He's undefeated. He took out Darius' army, the Persian army. Darius is a father of Xerxes, who's in the movies, 300.
Yeah.
So his father took him out twice, took over Persian, like in this tiny little Greek state of Macedonia. Took them all out.
This is why I love Pete.
But it's just awesome. It's incredible history.
All right, and who's in the back seat? Got two.
I don't know, maybe Jack Lambert.
All right.
He's a prick. So I work with a dude. I work with an iron worker who's actually grew up with his son and just said like he was just the biggest prick, but he's just hilarious about what he does.
I mean, we got Alexander the Great, you, and Jack Lambert. I mean, you ain't getting bullied anywhere.
No,
and then you got a fourth.
That's
you got a fourth. You got a lady companion.
You know what
I mean?
Lady companion. I'd bring Rachel along.
All right, Rachel.
I'll bring Rachel along.
She'd be fun.
She'd
be fun.
Rachel fits in anywhere. So.
And she probably asked Alexander the Great and Jack Lambert questions that you wouldn't think to ask him, but you'd be glad to hear the answer to.
Yeah, for sure.
You know? Who's the most impressive person you ever met?
Most impressive person I ever met. I don't know. Off the top of my head.
No? To be determined. That's an answer.
No, I would say, if anything, I would say my sisters.
Okay.
My sister. So I'm the youngest in my family, and my two older sisters, they're just very incredible what they do. Real quick, my oldest sister, Lauren, she followed her passion. She went for musical theater, did that all her life, went to Penn State. She was one of 6 females to get into her class. They only accept 12 every year.
Wow.
Did the whole New York, trying to make it in New York and everything. And now she's a GM of a Iron Hill Brewery in Lancaster, PA. So she's killing it. And now, and she's like an ultra, she's runs like marathons like 2 or 3 a year.
Very fit.
Very fit.
Yeah.
Very fit. And then Annie's just, it's Annie. I mean, she's like a
married a Philadelphia guy, which I love.
Both of them did.
Yep.
Both of them did.
Well,
but
see, we got good people too. We got good personality over on our side.
I would say my sister's like the closest thing to being a saint. She's just a sweetheart of a human. She's a nurse. She works for the children's organ transplant floor in Pittsburgh at Children's Hospital.
Takes a special heart for that.
Yeah, and then it's pretty incredible. Like that, but there's nobody better. You know, God makes people to do that kind of stuff, and like He created her just for that.
She's got your mom's personality. I feel like very like when you meet them, you feel like you've known them for a long time.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
No, yeah, Annie's
for sure.
Annie's a sweetheart.
So I got who's your favorite historical figure? You are a historian.
John Adams.
John Adams. All right, why?
He is the founding father. So there's a founding father. So he probably should have been first president, even though he was the vice president. But like at the time, George Washington was the face of America. But during the time,
Across Delaware,
all that. So people know George Washington. A lot of people don't know John Adams' history.
he was older too.
He was
I think he's 46 when they signed the Declaration.
Yeah, and he was a delegate for a while in Virginia. George Washington was, but John Adams was from Massachusetts. So the war started in his backyard, and he saw it firsthand. He was also a farmer and a lawyer. Another thing why I really like him is back in the day he was like the original earliest history in America would say like right versus wrong. So the Boston Massacre, that shooting, I forget how many British soldiers were, but they were all tried for murder because they released their weapons. But he took on the case saying he doesn't want to start a country like this, like a bloodshed. So he like took them through a proper trial, and they actually all got acquitted except like 2 of them got some like lesser charges, but they all got acquitted because he just knew right and wrong. But during the war as well, he was over in like Finland, Denmark, all those, just trying to raise funds. France, just trying to raise funds for the war. So he was like a diplomat.
He was the money guy, raising the money. And stuff
he was the founding father.
I mean, why did they give Sam the beer then? You know what I mean? It should have been a John Adams beer. All right, so who's your favorite athlete all time?
Favorite athlete all time? I don't know. I'm more of like a current, like I just like stick with the current guys. Right now, like Brian Reynolds for the Pirates.
All right.
I love him. And then all time, I would probably have to say Ted Williams.
Ted Williams, all right.
Ted Williams.
You ever see Ted Williams watching Mike Piazza take BP when he was 16?
Mm-mm.
And he's like, you're going to be a major leaguer, you're going to be great. And then Mike Piazza went on to be.
Yeah.
Great. Pretty cool. What's your life motto? Like, what do you live by?
I would just say just keep your head down and keep moving.
Right.
Kind of like a dory, like just keep swimming.
There you go. All right. I like that. I like that a lot. Next one. What have you learned being a Floridian? Best part and worst part?
Best part, there's no best part. It's warm year round. It gets a little too warm. People are very interesting.
Yeah.
I would say probably the Floridian, seeing the Floridian, like the fighters.
Yeah.
From Rise.
Yeah.
Seeing all them and like just being like involved in that kind of like lifestyle. Just seeing them start from amateur 1 or 2 fights to like now the guys that we started from the beginning are all like most of them are pro now and just doing very well and just seeing all that. So that was pretty cool to see like that how they operate in that and to being a Floridian in that case because I go back to where I'm from. That shit's not anywhere.
Yeah, we didn't run into that until we got here. It was crazy. Actually, I got into M&A into Rise with you.
Yeah, we went to the first one together, just me and you.
Yes, sir.
And now it's where it's at now.
Oh, yeah. Whew. But all right, so then I got what's your big, hairy, audacious life goal? So say Pete wakes up at 60, where you at?
Oh, I make it to 60. That's either back in Level Green or somewhere like in the Appalachians. Just like isolated off the grid somewhere.
Living off the land. Then I have your favorite. We got 2 questions left. Your favorite philosopher, quote your favorite piece or of their work, or explain what it means and why you like it. So give me your philosopher, why you like them, maybe a piece from them.
Philosopher, I don't know. I mean, the famous ones are always good, like Marcus Aurelius.
It can even be someone like John Adams, something he said, or you know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go. So it's the Chinese proverbs, like the ancient Chinese proverbs. And one is civilize the mind, but make savage the body.
All right, explain that.
So I take it as basically to know peace, you must to know war, you must know peace, and vice versa. And basically, like the brains are as much of a tool as your body. Like back then when you're going to battle, you need to be smart, and that's also like why I like following these guys like the Alexanders and Napoleons, because they were just so intelligent in their tactics in battle. So like having the strong mind along with the body, it's a very incredible thing to like master both of those.
I'm gonna switch up my last question. I just can't thought of it because I only aged 22, so I'm not gonna. Give me one book that a man should read.
Hatchet.
By who?
I don't know.
It's called Hatchet.
It's called Hatchet. It's about a kid who crashed in the woods and just survives with nothing, with a hatchet.
All right, I'm gonna be my next book.
It's an easy read. It's like
I'm mainly self help, but seventh grade will help me.
Yeah,
for sure.
Help me read it.
All right, and with that concludes our 5th episode of the Tribeman podcast. You can find us on YouTube and Spotify. I want to thank our producer Edgar, and my guest Pete. Thank you guys. See you next week.